How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Oh man, so I think we're finally kind of getting around to the whole cast. I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot of other main characters. I think we still need to get to know a few more of them, like on a more kind of one-on-one scenario. So I don't know how close we are to a real like path commitment. Heck, it might be a game long one. It could be one initial choice that kind of leads you down the right path. I don't know. It all depends on how this game goes. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but we're going to be doing some stuff with Rin. We're helping her out. So far, she's had a very, I don't know. Her sense of humor is very kind of in line with my own. I'm very much more of a stoic. I like situational humor personally. She's been kind of hilarious because she just kind of moseys through a scene, just like, so what's up, and gets calling people out. But she's also the first person we've been a bit more open about our condition with. So that's something. So liking Rin as a character pretty good. I'm kind of interested to see what she's all about more so. But yeah, no, it's been, I've already explored a few other choices. Like, for instance, in the classroom, when the quiet girl with the long hair, like I had an opportunity to try and approach her, and I thought that might not be a bad idea. I stick with my decision, but I tried it, and it turns out there's a whole scene that I didn't even get to see. So, it just goes to show you, like, every choice is going to have, like, a different feel to it eventually, which is really nice. It's another good sign. Like, I don't want choices to be super arbitrary in this, because this is one of the more choice-based ones. And that's the funny thing. So, like, a lot of my series recently have been very narrative-heavy. And so the choices that they have in them are either fairly minor or just infrequent. Great example of an infrequent one is Steins Gate. Choices in Steins Gate, the ones that really matter, like, I guess there's the flags you have to hit to get the true ending. But beyond that, like, the choices are pretty bam, like, you know where it is and what's going to happen. Other choices don't really influence the plot that much. It's just more about what you choose to do. But I like playing one of these more pathy ones again. I do like these kind, and I like dating sims. I just don't like dating sims that are super heavy on the fan service and not so heavy on the story. And so this is a fantastic example of the kind I really, really like. And I need to play more of these once in a while. But that's why we're here. So thank you so much, and let's jump right back into it. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us onward toward the dorm. We stop at a small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. Interesting, there's like graffiti there. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design in the school. So it's like a little like path roundabout. The entire wall made of the same... Oh no, so it's a wall. Never mind. The entire wall is made of the same kind of brick as the building itself. Has been covered by some sort of painting. Most of it's still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against the gray plaster that cover most of the entire length of the wall, but for some places look a bit more finished. Oh, Rin was in the art room and she needed us to get some supplies. I wonder if this is her big project for the school. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall. Oh crap, I can't remember what her voice was. Okay, I think I know what it's gonna be. See, on the left side it's hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. Happens to me all the time. I have to work on it, but the guys in art class are helping with the negative space and base the surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. Oh, I mean, it's true. Kind of a weird way to say it. The reach is better, and it's faster too. She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever it is there actually is, to demonstrate even though I got the point already. The whole white cotton of her sleeve flaps around, and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does. So why should she wear a boy uniform? It might just be like practical for her condition, but she also just might prefer it. She looks good in a tie. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student's base, especially properties, has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feeling, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already and just keeps on blabbering. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure it out before it's too late and all hope is lost. See, once again, I love her delivery. It's very well done. And here's something that's really crucial. The writer's done a great job of making the characters each talk in a unique voice. That's something I can struggle with. Like, I have some characters I can easily do where they're talking in different voices, but a lot of my more background characters can blur together. I need to practice that more. Oh, man. I really want to do NaNoWriMo this year. I'm probably going to kill myself if I actually try it, but I really want to do it. Maybe I'll figure out a way to do it. Why would the hope be lost? Because paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time. She finally stops, apparently thinking she's made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So, this project of yours, is your project? You did this. Yes. All of it? Yes. Nice. But I stumbled with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into the minefield of political incorrectness. It's okay, you can say it. I probably won't get mad. I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. Feels like I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward. Don't you want to ask? How do you paint without hands? See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do? You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now. I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she is at using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us have anything more to add to the subject. It's a good thing. Like, I mean, it's kind of que sera to say, but it is something to point out. I got a mom who, well, most of us have moms, but my mother in particular works with people who have physical disabilities, specifically with children. And once again, like, the most amazing thing is that, yeah, we can have like disabilities or handicaps that make it harder for us to function just like an average person would, and yet the human body is fantastic at adapting. And like, she's probably not only very strong with her feet, but very talented and dexterous. I mean, we're not too far off from our cousin primates who can use their feet almost like hands. They look a lot like hands, and they can do grasping and things like it. We're not that far off from them, and so I have no doubt that she could adapt to that. It's kind of like Lily with her blindness. Blindness, obviously, is something that would be very difficult. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things that I would personally have the biggest struggle with, I think. I love being able to see and observe and look at my world around me, but I also know that people who are blind almost feel an enhancement of the other senses and their abilities to perceive the world through sound and touch. And it's just amazing to me that the resilience and the adaptability of our race. That's probably what makes us so fantastic, is the fact that we can tend to overcome problems rather than just succumb to them. The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually really interesting. I want to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings tend to be flat. Not that kind of flat, flat, like some people are. No substance, no meat where there should be some. I know a few girls. Okay, I get it. But I could really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name any artists or artistic terms. So I don't really have anything to say. Rin shrugged her shoulders as saying, suit yourself, without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there. I didn't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any. Rin is sure quick to recruit my help, that's what Suzune. It really makes me feel like the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can be any help, though. It's just mixing some paints. You can do that, probably. Do you have any motor control problems? Like, those people who have some? I have to appreciate just her bluntness. I love straightforward people. Like, I don't like dancing around. Like, I can dance around with the best of them. I can be politically correct with the best of them. I can do it to a fault, and maybe that's why I respect it so much when people are so just straightforward and blunt. It's actually To be fair, it's a quality I find very attractive in a person, whether it be a friendship or otherwise. Cerebral palsy, maybe. No, not that I know of. I get it. Heart thing has nothing to do with that. She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do it then. So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between her toes and a bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paint flows lazily from the can into the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form new monotone hues. Rin sets to work, every now and then asking me for a hand for something or the other. Technically, if I was reading it the Japanese way, it'd be Rin, but Rin it's so smooth. Like, I just want to say Rin. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. Oh, I bet. She wants precision down to the last millimeter before she's satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. And a half splash of green. I crouch down to pick up a can of bright green. The other green. This green. I carefully pour some of the other green paint back into the mixing bowl. No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good choice to add? No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of a smile appears in the corner of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? No, it's just I have no idea. It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white. With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter. That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know you saw the meaning of life in your dream, but you can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow. I think she's just trying to mess with us. Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or another nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Excuse me. Seeing a painting being born on the plaster wall feels like magic. I spend a moment. I have been mixing paints, but crouching down to the pavement and just looking at her work. You know, that's something I want to do someday. I think at some points I want us to have challenge nights or a challenge live stream or something. I really need to work on a setup before we do something like that. But one thing I absolutely want to do someday, just for kicks, is I'd love to try and live stream me trying to paint, like follow a Bob Ross and try and paint like him. Because oh my gosh, I would be so bad at it. I think the last time I tried doing any kind of painting, it was watercoloring in elementary school or primary school. So yeah, it would be atrocious, but it'd be fun. Because it's like watching Bob Ross is like watching a magician. It's especially because the first 30 minutes you feel like there's nothing on the canvas. What is he gonna do? And then suddenly it's boom, it's all done. You're like, where did the mountain come from? I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouched down on the paving and just looking at her work. I feel slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works through details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. This would be really cool to watch. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixtures, neither of us says a word for the longest time. That'd be nice. I think I struggle sometimes with that. I like when I'm by myself and enjoying a quiet moment. Although I tend to like to listen to music more, but I can sit and kind of ponder on my own. But sitting with others and letting it be quiet, that's tough. Only with my close friends can I really let that happen, which is probably why they're close friends. And even though short discussions soon evolve into shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for a variety of paints and hues. As if there were some need to converse words and breath and sound. Oh, wow. Oh, they actually show progress. That's cool. We stayed there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly. Wow. That was... Okay. Rin, probably one of the top impressions so far. Not sure if personally I'd be oh, well, she's so swoony. I love it. But, she's definitely left a powerful impression. If there were anybody who I'm I want to be best friends with, I would want to be best friends with Rin. The sound of the alarm pulls me from a fitful slumber into an unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few more minutes, gathering energy to rise up and make an excuse for why I haven't already. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here all day. School is surprisingly exhausting. After a long pause, the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they're going to let me get away that easy. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck when talk of exercise as well. So, eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medication, and put on my old soccer clothes. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I'd ordered some to cover my contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can give me a new life this way, a bit like me. After all, I'm going to start taking care of myself. Can't afford to slack around. I'll start with the basics. Basics which include keeping the rest of my body in shape along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. It's crazy because he was so active already. It's like, his poor heart was so bad even though he was active. I mean, if I had a condition like that, I just would have died. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the other one present at the track. Oh, this is a running girl. We're going to probably meet her here because like she's the only character we've seen that's like properly kind of been introduced, but we've never talked with yet. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic-legged girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely, like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. It was like Yui, maybe? She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine. Then the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog like that, like he's oppressing me. No, she absolutely looked like she's one of those people who loves it, those freaks. Yeah, seriously, I don't understand. I cannot comprehend people who like running. I mean, I've really been trying hard lately to work out, exercise more, and like getting more active. But my goodness, I do not understand people who enjoy that. I just cannot wrap my mind around it. I certainly wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my health, and it's prompting me to do so. But I envy the people who do, who like it. And even things like that being as they are, it's only because I want to get out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape were merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but that seems like my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. Okay. How did I tell? She talks in a higher pitched voice and a sweet voice, not the annoying one that gave Misha. And to be fair, like I pegged her for kind of the more like obnoxious character, so I gave her my annoying voice. All right. Good morning. Your name is Hisao, right? She grins, seemingly pleased that she'd remember my name. You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hallway yesterday. Emmy, not you, Emmy. Miss Ibarazaki? She imitates Misha into imitating Suzune, failing to get the same kind of subdued lilt into her high-pitched voice. How could I forget such an blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. Yeah, sorry about that, again. Well, as long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine. Great! I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So, the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you? That's right. Oh, I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest. What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy? No, more like it's a relief. I was afraid he was having someone watch me at my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that. No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I'd seen a messy hair transfer student who looks like he's kind of lost around the track. So, why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. Training! For what? Track! Ah, I see. You're on the track team then. Emmy nods enthusiastically. Yep, I'm one of the better runners too. I'm modest about it too. Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know. I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not sure I even like running all that much. Plus, I'm not into organized sports, you know? It's true. I never really even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Yeah, sometimes I actually think back and I wonder why I picked up lacrosse. I thought I like the sport, and I know I thought it was fascinating, and I love doing something that's more unique. That might have been a part of it too. Maybe where you're from, there's a lot of people who play lacrosse, but where I grew up, it was like being introduced for the first time. We had to travel like 200 miles for our matches with other teams, just because there weren't a whole lot of teams around us. We were like kind of pioneering it. And so I'm always a fan of doing something that's like that, a bit more obscure, a bit more out of the way. I also think personally it was because I've always wanted to be involved in a sport, because my dad was big in football, and I always kind of wanted to do that, but I also knew that I wouldn't be able to compete toe to toe with most people. So jumping in on a team that just needed people meant I was needed, and maybe that was part of it. Like, I wanted to be on a team and feel like I was actually contributing. If I tried to join my like high school football team or high school soccer team, I would just be a waste of space effectively. So maybe that was part of it. And I do like having that 10 of team mentality, but I'm also not super competitive. I just mostly like working with a group and like trying to accomplish something. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not that into the whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess that we're gonna run together, huh? What? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you going to warm up? Real men don't warm up. Oh no, you always should warm up. Bad, he Sal. That's kind of cute. He scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. Heck, I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go. So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being a good runner. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it feels pretty difficult. It's interesting, because like, if I remember what they always taught me from running, it was like, you would heel toe if you were jogging, but if you were like doing like a full run or a sprint, it was supposed to be like the balls of your feet, because it was more effective and efficient. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy can help me with that sometime. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps today, and slow to walk pretty quickly. Yeah, you gotta be careful not to push yourself too hard, man. Emmy keeps running, and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah. I'm not in a very good shape right now. Emmy nods, then grins at me. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is that you started, right? Next time, you just have to try out a little longer, and then longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think for right now, I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. Yeah, I got plenty of time. I notice that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, Hisao. Yeah, see ya. I'm not sure whether this morning experiment was a success or a failure, but I admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice at least to have a feel like I've taken a semblance of control over my own health. I'll have to try and keep this up. I head back to the dorms and wash and change into my uniform, try to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. Oh, that sounds nice. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. Yep, here we go. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears. Great, is this Kenji? A shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog. I knew it, and he's got a leaf. Zap. What are you doing in here? What the heck? You scare me. What is your problem? I should be asking you. I've been looking for you all over the place, man. What do you mean all over the place? I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but I hold my tongue back. I finally realize I'm still naked too and quickly hold up my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice the thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad that he's perpetually seeing through fog? You know your room, and yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still have to get up though. Whatever, it's not important. Can I borrow some money? He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. Doesn't work. He's as transparent as a window pane-sized glasses. Talking naturally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked, to say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I tried to brush the feeling off with little success. Money? Sure. Awesome. Wait, why do you need it? Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill not to run through the pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't that the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal. That's extortion. It's like the mafia kind of rule. It's just like, you know, I could have stolen from you. Doesn't that mean you should be nice and give me money? This makes no sense. If it's a thought that counts, I should withhold payment since his thoughts are clearly impure and his intentions are probably even more sinister since he can't tell me what they are. I say as much to him. I'm offended, man. But if that's your game, fine. I'll have no other choice. I want to order a pizza and I already have most of the cost for the pizza. I need your help with the rest. I get some of that pizza too, right? No. Are you serious? Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat pizza. What about you? I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza to pay the guy, then eat it. That's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you with the pizza, and they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before, and that's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance, so that when people who wronged me or ordered a pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant. Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony. Oh boy. But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. You can't decide my own pizza. It's not fair. It's too far. I try not to go out there unless absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened last time when I went out there without carefully planning it in advance. I went outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something standing? Maybe. I don't wonder how I got there. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, spitting in the sky. Like how do you split a sandwich in 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable and hold to eat? A bird cracked in my head. I'm trying to read it fast, but I can't quite keep it. It was the second most shocking moment of my life. What was the first? He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? Let's go with that. Even though it's more likely he just didn't hear me. It was like in the opening of some kind of anime show. You know how there is always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival and fly at each other and clash swords. Like there's a big dramatic colored auras and zoom. It was like that, but with poo. Oh my gosh, what? Oh, the bird, right. Okay. So yeah, I need some money. Please, don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen. That's like twice as much. I thought you wanted 40 yen. 400 yen. Okay. What? I'll pay you back, I swear. You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff. I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back. You have 1 week. Ah! Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. A practically disturbing fact given that Batata is conducting freely. Oh, that is a way to describe it. I gotta remember. I'm gonna remember that. You're not supposed to be so tight about money being between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Don't you know the male porn stars only make about half as much as the female porn stars make? Well, I would say it's supply and demand, man. Maybe it's like the one industry that's compensating for the fact that most women make less than they should. Fetch. Good grief. How do you know this? That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star. So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. You can't even spot me in your crumbs. Nobody understands. Nobody. Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea. I have lost track of what the feminists actually stand for nowadays, really. The feminist agenda stuff again? This stuff's important. I see you don't have to give a crap, but this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy, make no mistake. You take them lightly, and you wake up in the morning with a knife at your back. Bam! Out of nowhere. How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep? Women are terrible at stabbing things. This kid, what the fetch is wrong with him? I mean, I understand he's supposed to be a little wacky, but what the heck? I thought you just said they don't take them lightly. I don't mean take them lightly in the big things. Individually, they're not a threat, but if there was some kind of war, like a big war, and the men on one side and feminist forces on the other, it'd be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret world feminist headquarters to say, "It is on now, mother effers." You're being ridiculous. There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it'd have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would know it's a big fortress with women only in it. Who said it was on Earth? Why? Never mind. I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror so I can figure out what kind of frown would be best to express my emotions. You can't see me from this distance anyway. Which unfortunately means he keeps on ranting without any regard to sense or sensibility. Yeah, there's a war going on. Not a war many know about, but it's a great one, and if we one day boil over and encompass all the known world, then we'll have to pick sides, we'll have to make the stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield, a vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought this cause was silly. When I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight. Oh, fetch, I clicked the wrong one. Hang on, let me go back. I almost gave up when I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight, when I mistook the time our power went out for the feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized if I ever gave up, it would be all over, and I'd be like, whoa! And I knew I had to get serious, because I am the last sane man in the insane world. It's about duty. Sure, I'm getting out of breath. Must be a pretty crappy movement if all hinges on one naked guy ranting in a bathroom to another naked guy. So, can I have the money? He blocked the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked and I want to go to class, so I agree to spot him the money. Awesome. Thanks, dude. We should go bowling later on. Bowling? Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are also no women bowlers either, making it also the manliest sport. He's such good grief, man. I used to wear a pink bowling shirt with the matching shoes and pastel greens with flower accents. There are bowling clothes? Maybe. Anyway, you'd better pay me back. I can pay you back in stuff, right? I don't have time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. Have to get to class. You're kind of in the way. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't want to hold you up. I have some other stuff to do myself. The time's come. The time for what? I just like saying that. Okay, now the time's really come. For what? I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it. I was just going to... What is that? It's a big bathroom. So I have to be alone. I can't go. The pressure. Okay, what if someone else comes in? I'll think of something. Give him a practical frown. It looked kind of silly reflecting in his glasses. He either didn't notice or he didn't see. Anyway, I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity had passed since I woke up. Yeah. Ooh, I can breathe. He's fun. He's a very memorable character. Fetch, man. This is the time I'll never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. But right now I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting here alone for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom started making me very tired. I blank out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of the deck. Ow! Rubbing my forehead, I realized there's as good a reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early. Eventually, I hear the tapping noise outside the hall, and Lily's tall figure appears through the doorway. She's not in the class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it were important to look prim when entering our classroom. Excuse me? She calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, and so I break it. Good morning, Lily. Hisao, good morning. I did not hear you come in. I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely. If I were to tell her a big lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. Oh, have you seen Hanako today, by any chance? No, she seems to come in only just before the bell rings, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you? No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else coming on my way here. I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess. You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should. Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival's coming up soon, and today is the deadline for the event registration, budget reports, and the other official paperwork. It could be that everyone's trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that's why it's so quiet today. That would make sense. I wonder if we are going to have to make a choice now, because this almost seems like you have to sign up for something kind of day. Hi! Misha popped into the room with Suzune, and as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that made Lily visibly flinch. I'm so sorry, Lily. Hi, Hichan! Hi. Look, it's the class representative. Hello! Lily smiled, probably amused by Misha or Shizune's use of the word look. Good morning. Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? Right? I'm not. Lily seems a little more guarded in her answer to Suzune than she was to me with the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might actually not know Suzune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she's talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Suzune are practically inseparable, she might expect Suzune being the one who actually talks. Oh, fetch! That's terrible! Oh, man. No one... Okay, I can actually understand why these three might not get along. Misha can be overbearing. Suzune can be intense. And Lily is reserved. So first off, they're kind of polar opposites in that regard. And then you have Lily who can't see Suzune, and Suzune who can't talk, and that's a sign. So they literally, there's no real great even halfway step communication-wise. It has to be through Misha. And that, oh man. Yeah, I can see that being a recipe for misinformation and disaster. Dang, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're here early, Suzune. You were here even earlier than us. Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Suzune's behalf too? It's not that weird, though. If Shizune doesn't like my little comment, it's true. I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Suzune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Suzune already moved on. Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. The festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for the event. Even the first years, except you. Wahahaha! There's still a little time to hand it in, isn't there? Today! The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had my way, I'd have all the necessary paperwork days ago, but someone had to say the deadline, please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale was not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. Oh, yeah. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds in one class event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, and then some. The one who does it? That is me. Misha put her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she's really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's that very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hisao. It's all right. Lily seems happy. I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about budget, then I'm disappointed you think that I've forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? Suzune, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not right here now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me, students from my class. She emphasized the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Suzune and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council? I guess word must have gone around, so now she's using me as ammo against Suzune. The things just keep getting better and better. Oh, fetch. It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should take for delegate anyway. As a class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. Fetch, Shizune, calm down. Oh man, that's not cool. Delegation is the key to leadership. It only becomes an issue is if you delegate to people who cannot upkeep their end, and if you delegate so much that you're not actually accomplishing or leading in any way. But man, get off her case. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for being sick. Okay. Although Misha missed Lily's little jab entirely, Suzune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Lily, don't they live here at the school? It's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? A lot? I mean, good grief. I mean, somebody who has like a severe nerve disorder could literally be trapped in bed. Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Suzune closes the gap between them and starts saying furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. That's not gonna do it. Oh my gosh. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result isn't interesting and somewhat surreal. And what's with that attitude? I say it's not something you should be delegating anyway. Are you the class representative, or aren't you? Tell me the names of those two students. They should have your job if they can't even handle something as simple as yourself. I feel terrible reading this. Shizune, calm down. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she's doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she's becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither see nor hear how excited she is. Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Oh, get some aloe vera in here for these burns. It's freaking getting intense. It's getting hot in here. Lily turns her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of sarcasm, which they were meant to have. Suzune and Lily don't look at each other. That much is clear, but this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. Oh no! Oh no! And why? Why the upskirt shot? I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down and make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? Seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell. And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent. Fetch. The air between them ripples at the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it because I think Lily is taking it like an attack, and I think Shizune is taking it like a debate. Shizune might not realize the power these words are having, or what they come across as saying. Hee-chan, don't you slack off either. What are you even talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hee-chan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. Oh my gosh, don't be so passive-aggressive. I don't understand why Shizune is getting so mad at me. Oh, great. Don't drag me into this. I've done my part. That's what I want to say. Why am I being dragged into this again? I've done more than enough, I think. If you're angry with Lily, that has nothing to do with me. Now, wait just a second. Are you implying the president is more right in scolding me than yourself? Ah, oh, dang. I think I could have worded that better. No, I don't think of that at all. But, I mean... What are you saying, Hee-chan? It's just that I hardly think it's fair that you can say, seeing that I've helped you guys. The mood has changed. This is likely a showdown between two gunfights now. Well, it was like that before, too. But this time, Shizune's focus is on me. It's like it was a Mexican standoff. Like, everyone's like, put him up! Put him up! Who's firing first? What have I done? See, I could have taken the coward's way out and just said, like, hey, give us some slack, and then we just would have been under fire. But no, I had to be throwing my hat into the ring, but it's what I would probably have done, so... And so is Lily's, though she keeps quiet. I'm afraid I inadvertently pissed her off, too. Are you saying I'm wrong? What a dangerous situation. It's too early to argue with you. Yes, I think it's unfair for you to get on my case. Hee-chan, you want too much, but you have a point. Okay. You're not lazy, Hee-chan. Shizune pushed her glasses up with her thumb, almost approvingly. That's good. If you're not useless, you shouldn't let anyone say you are. But the next time I say it, it'll really be because you're disappointing me like Miss Class Rep here, so don't let this go to your head. Lily takes the jab silently, a venomous visage frozen on her face. Class Rep, Shi-chan says, don't forget that report, please. I won't. Would that be all? Yep. Then, good day to you all. Her voice would cut the air of the classroom in half if it were more tangible. Oop, sorry, I dropped something. Lily leaves the room, understandably in a bad mood, but still manages to be as poised and calm as usual. Fetch, man, that was... I think the biggest thing here is Shizune. She sees the world very differently than everyone else. Not because of her condition, but just because of her nature. I don't think she was being so aggressive with Lily because she, actively dislikes her. I'm getting the impression she just likes the verbal dueling and that Lily is a fair opponent kind of thing. That's why she was getting so excited, but Lily can't see that. It's just there's no right answer there. There really wasn't. Shizune, you really did go a little too far today. It's true. Shi-chan, just a little. If I'd been expecting Shizune to grudgingly admit the point that I have a point there as well, I would think I was expecting too much. She doesn't respond. Shi-chan thinks you should mind your own business. It's kind of becoming my business. Hee-chan, we have a few last few minute things to take care of before class. We might be a bit late, so can you cover for us? Yeah. Perfect. Yay. Okay, thanks, Hee-chan. They walk outside even though there are only 10 minutes left before the bell will ring, signaling the start of class. Hanako doesn't come into the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. We've been covering the same amount of pages each day, so reading ahead is more or less giving me a preview of what tomorrow's lesson will be about. The clock at the front of the room sounds abruptly loud. Unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on the blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, not noticing Misha's head poking over my shoulder until she's almost on top of me. What are you doing? I try to strike a balance between being quiet enough to not draw attention to myself, but loud enough to draw hers. What are you doing, Hee-chan? Panic shoots through me as Misha starts talking with her normal voice. I sputtered a hasty reply. She keeps still keeping my voice down, despite the fact that she just blew any hope of being discreet I might have had. I'm copying down the stuff. What are you doing? Why so loud? Aw, really? But it's on the book. That's why no one else is copying it down. I know. Why are you so loud? Why are you so quiet, Hee-chan? It's hard to hear you. I look around to see if anyone's noticed our conversation. It's pretty obvious that everyone has, even the teacher. Suzune smiles coyly as I start to wonder if Misha is doing this because she told her to. Is it because of what happened between her and Lily earlier? This is what I get for trying to be responsible? For trying to take the middle path? Shizune is way too prideful, although by now I should know to expect this kind of behavior from her. Why are you doing this? Huh? Misha is totally oblivious to the awkward stares from the teachers giving both of us, while trying to balance her textbook on one finger. For a brief second, it looks as if things could get ugly, but the teacher simply looks away as if it's not worth the trouble. I guess that's a good thing, and I slump back in my seat in relief. The dirty trick. The rest of the day passes by uneventfully, and this time I'm able to appreciate that it does. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a while reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave the last anyway, so I don't have to deal with any crowding in the hallways. Man, this guy's like after my own heart. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast that her hands make noise like swords cutting through the air. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear that she can barely manage to understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing looks like serious business, probably way over my head. Not just that, but Shizune also seems angry, although it could just be her normal severity making it appear so. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with a tongue twister, and then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Fetch, she's working overtime. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, the business is soon finished and the girls sit down in their seats again. Ah, I'm so tired. She hangs her head limply on her desk looking exhausted. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after class, they're always talking about their plans for it. Kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune starts singing at me, and Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She sings the harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her singing into speech for me. Her signing, not singing. Why am I saying singing? It looks kind of like singing, but I'm stupid. She's not singing. I just was on autopilot there for a second. I'm sorry. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. Well, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. Sarcasm. Huh? The tone of Shizune's actions makes me think she's speaking with disdain, but Misha interprets it normally, replacing whatever intent might have been there with her own chipper twist on things. It's still disorienting, and I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Also could be why she has such a breakdown in communication with other people. Tone is such a critical aspect of language. It can be very, very disconcerting to not have it anymore. Never mind. How could I forget? With you two trying to get me to join at least twice a day. But Hee-chan, some could say the work is too much. It'd be nice if students were to show a little more support for their leadership, some appreciation of the ones who are working so hard to make it all possible. Maybe, for example, a little help. That's asking too much, is it? Yep, help would be appreciated from students like you. Subtle. If students would show their dedication to school spirit and offer some help, well, I don't exactly need it. But I wouldn't necessarily refuse it, so it would be nice if someone would... Good grief! So much dancing around! Oh, hello. Oh, hey. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Calm down. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapping nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so. Hanako probably knows it as well. They seem to have momentarily forgotten about trying to get me to stay for the rest of the day. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, Satao's not here. She came by early this morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual steady gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away. She's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It's a little funny, though, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people from two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she had any sense in her head, she'd be in a classroom working on the festival project. But who knows what that woman's loitering at? She might be slacking off somewhere, just like Hee-chan. Dang, what was it with Suzune and her need to point out stuff like this? Hanako nods quietly and retreats with haste. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were really working hard to make the festival happen. And driving other people insane along the way. Well, good luck with that. I stand up to leave, making my exit before either of them manages to berate me anymore for slacking off. The halls are somewhat quiet, as expected. Everyone must be in the club meetings or at festival preparations, or both. Shizune's words about being a slacker echo in my head. I feel a bit guilty about not contributing, but I seem to lack the resolve to do something concrete about the matter. For the festival, it's too late already, unless I count helping Suzune and Misha, which I naturally don't. And clubs, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a club type of person. Could be part of the going home club. Halfway through the way from the school building to the dorms, I spot a figure in front of the dorms. It's Rin. Looks like she's working on her mural today. I walk over to her, but she doesn't seem to notice me approaching. She's still sitting on an upturned box, looking intently at the wall while she is painting with a brush held between her toes. The mural has progressed considerably since yesterday, but still only half done as far as I can tell. More colors have appeared, and the twisted human-like figures have spread and increased in number. I have to say, the style is quite eye-catching and very unique. Not that I would be knowledgeable about art by any measurable scale, but it's very nice-looking nevertheless. I clear my throat to get her attention, but not startle her so her concentration won't break. Wait. She doesn't even turn to check who it is. I'll wait. "15 minutes later, I decide her concentration is indeed unbroken, and also that I've waited long enough to warrant poking her gently in the shoulder to remind her of my presence. Rin turns her head mechanically to my direction, ending up staring at my crotch level. Oh, it's Hisao. She can tell. I feel a lot less uncomfortable if she were looking at my face. An astute observation. Harder work, I see. The conversation starts as if I hadn't been here for a quarter of an hour already, but that's no concern. At least it starts. Looking good. It does. The layer of paint hiding the other layers of paint, mixing and shaping the human figures, really creates an impressive look, but Rin looks miffed. You shouldn't comment on work in progress. 7 years of bad luck. Sounds terrible. Guess I'll take it back then. Still, it looks good. I wonder if I'll get 14 years of bad luck for thinking that. Rin turns back and looks at her painting and pokes it with a big toe. Could you mix some of this color? I'm running out of it. She looks down at a half-empty bowl with remains of the same pinkish paint in it. I didn't really intend to stay and help her with the project, though. I guess I didn't intend to do anything else. Anything much. I look at Rin. She looks emptily back at me. Just this once. Then picks up another brush and drenches it in another tone of pale red. There are dozens of similar bowls around her working area. From the looks of the scene, she could have been sitting there for hours. Wouldn't the paint have dried? I wonder if she has. That would mean she'd been skipping school though, which I of course wouldn't put beyond someone like Rin. I pour a little bit of white and red into the bowl, trying to match the color with one already in the wall. I can't seem to get it right. It's really inconvenient for her not to mix enough in the first place. Getting it to be exactly the same tone would be impossible, but at least I can try and get as close as I can. Speaking of hard work, isn't that a huge workload for you too? It's such a big painting and all. Oh, I'm not old and bitter enough yet to think like that. I guess you aren't. You guessed right. Legs hurt though. They feel like slugs. Slugs made of sea slugs. Because of the position? Yeah, I like doing a horizontal position more, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, Rin. But I can't be helped. Can't ask the wall to lay down. Saying that, she stretches herself a little, bending her legs back far more than a human should flex. It's astonishing how effortless she manages her body around. There's a small flinch on her otherwise blank expression, a hint of pain maybe, as she stretches out her calves. Rin must have stamina and dexterity far above a normal person to be able to live like she does, but she's wearing out working on this. Why push yourself so much? Take a break or something at least. Continue tomorrow if it's bad. This gives her pause. A long one, feeling like a mental yawn. I don't think so, Hisao. I'm not pushing myself. Sure looks like you are. No, it's not about pushing or pulling or anything related to that kind of thing. There is this boy. A boy? What? Yes. Where? At the art club. And? He's blind. Oh, how can you paint if you're blind? No idea. So why isn't he there? That's the point. He is there. She really should speak more than one word at a time to make it feel more like a discussion, at least less like an interrogation. You can't really do anything that you'd call art, right? But he comes there anyway, and paints. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. That's why I asked. So? He doesn't paint often, but his paintings are very interesting. I'm sure they are. I once tried that, painting with my eyes closed. Wasn't too interesting, and cleaning up the floor took ages. Didn't try again. But he's becoming better at sculpting. I see. Sculpting, that makes sense. Maybe she's trying to make a point with this. Maybe she forgot she had one. Seems like the art club is full of interesting people. Not really. Pretty blunt statement. She totally missed the sarcasm. No. Just like I said, they're not very interesting. I usually don't have much interest in people who are just not interesting. Maybe you have. Maybe. But that boy is interesting. Maybe I'm like that boy, or maybe you are. Maybe everyone is. Alright, okay. She's either joking, or she's one of those people who unsarcastically tries to be deep, but says like stuff that just is, it's like cyclical, like that it doesn't really take you anywhere. Doing things you can't do, just because you can. That's pretty deep, I think. I tell that to her. You're a deep one. Nah, I'm a really shallow and thoughtless person. People say that to me all the time. Did you know I can only think of 4 things at the same time? No, but now I do. Right now I'm thinking of the second floor's girl toilet. Ice cream flavored ice cream with a middle toe and a haircut. Ice cream flavored ice cream. What? I'm going to need a haircut. Whoa. She shakes her head around vigorously, letting her short, messy hair ruffle wildly around. I can see that doing that is something she likes to do. She's probably testing it to make sure it doesn't slap her in the face. We fall silent as Rin treads around absentmindedly, poking some brushes around. The thought about the art club sticks in my head for a while longer. I'm feeling like I'm treading on very unknown territory with art. The way these meetings with Rin go, it's as though I'm starting a smoking habit or something. I should probably stop talking with her. No! It's not like I dislike her, despite the confusion her being herself causes, and I don't dislike art either. I've even drawn for fun sometimes. I just don't have any real creative drive or any technical skill. So usually, if I were to draw something, I get white paper syndrome and just freeze completely. That, or I manage to draw something disfigured and promptly get frustrated at my inability to put a picture in my head down on the paper, then call it quits without really even trying to make an effort. Rin clearly doesn't have this problem, but she frustrates me in another way. Being with her is like looking into a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. It makes one question the sanity of the act. Rin sits down in her box, swaying from side to side, apparently comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. She's staring at me again, or maybe over my shoulder. I can't quite figure out where her eyes are focused. I'm thinking of leaving so she can carry on work undistracted, and that I can do whatever I'm going to do alone. It's not like I have anything that must be done today. Oh, shoot. Who? Nobody. I just forgot to tell Hanako and Lily what Lily was looking for. Wait, that's a great answer. I didn't remember that. Oh, shoot. Who? Don't shoot anybody. Do you know her from my class? Oh, her. The mystery toilet girl. That person is funny. I saw her going to the toilet 5 times during one recess 3 weeks ago. I'm sure that's a world record. It was very mysterious. That's why you call her Mystery Toilet Girl? What other reason could there possibly be? Well, if there is, it's an eternal mystery. I didn't follow her in there. Maybe it was the week before that? Could have been. Looking at her makes me hungry. What? Don't say that. At least not around her. Rin turns around blankly as if she's not sure why I reproved her. But she doesn't acknowledge understanding anything more than before, so I give up at this point. So, do you want to go eat dinner then? No, not yet. Rin has turned her hungry gaze back at the wall, looking slightly more energetic, or at least slightly less lethargic than she did before. It's as if the wall is an opponent she has to vanquish, something she must overcome before she can indulge in dinner. This is the feeling I get. A weird sense of empathy overcomes me and makes me smile a little to myself. For all her oddities, Rin is pretty cool after all. I'll be going anyway. Have fun! Rin has already grasped the brush and is dipping into the fresh paint, so of course she can't hear me anymore. It doesn't answer or answer anything even if she does. Alright. Yeah, we'll go ahead and end it. Well, let's wake up in the morning and we'll end it. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. That's not all that bad. Excellent. This looks like it'll be a good place for us to stop. Well, this was an interesting one. I've had to reevaluate some of the things I think about various characters. Yeah, okay, got it. So if it's going to keep beeping, I was going to click. So, Shizune. Oh, sorry, microphone. Shizune is interesting. I think she's a fantastic character, but man, she gets way, way too intense. Like, that could be tough to handle. And Misha's Misha. Ugh, Misha. It's like Misha's almost like forfeited her own self sometimes in a weird way, and that kind of bothers me a bit. I want to know why she helps so much, and I feel like there's something about that relationship that's too one-sided in Shizune's favor. I mean, she needs help, and I'm glad that Misha's there to help her. But, it still feels like Misha never talks from her own self very much. It's always what Shizune wants. Either directly or indirectly, like with the nagging in the middle of class. I like Lily as a person, but I think she also takes things a little too personally. Hanako, I feel like I want to get to know her a little bit better. Hopefully I can meet up with her again, but yeah, I felt like it was a bit intense there. Rin's cool, but kind of crazy. And Emmy's cute. She's just cute in general. Yeah, I have no idea. Fetch, man. If you told me right now, who am I going to go for? I have no clue. I have some inclinations, but they can be flipped on their head so much. I have no idea what's going to happen. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. That was interesting. Shizune is like fire. If it's contained, it can be warm and pleasant and intense, but in a great way. But the cauldron can just tip and just boom, forest fire, and it's just raging out of control. And she seems to love that feeling. It's such a dangerous, volatile concoction of a person, and so she fascinates me. And then Rin sounds like she's like a personification of how I think in my head. So that's fun to be around. So it's interesting. We'll have to see what happens in the future episodes, but this has been fun. Relaxing. I needed something to relax with. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for being a part of here. Every one of you makes this channel so great. And if you'd asked me when I started the channel, the first year and a half was so slow with growth and finding an audience of any kind. I just felt like I was talking to nobody. And then recently we've seen so much change on the channel. It's been so wonderful. So thank you for being a part of that. Because a lot of people, I think there's a lot of newer people who have been finding this series. So thank you for being those people if you want. Hopefully that can keep having more interesting stuff for you to share with me on the channel. And if you're one of the old hats who have been around for a little while, of course, you're my favorite people. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to... I keep seeing you guys twittering away on the Discord page, the spoiler zone that I can't see. I can't wait to see what you guys think. I think I want to do more dating sims, and every time I do, I'm hoping somebody will set up a, survey, because I want to see, you guys discussing about like what path you think I'm gonna take, and like I can't wait to read through those discussions. It's gonna be super fun. But yeah, so thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for being part of this and being active. It's wonderful to have that, and I look forward to chatting with you all the more. So until the next video, watch the video, hope to see me next. I'll see you there.